Yo, we are back. We are live sports jazz. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? It's been a minute. It's been a minute, Josh. What up? Good news? Bad news? I don't know what's happening tonight. Oh,
Yo, it's always good news with United, bro. It's
yep.
always good news.
No, it's not been good news.
We're basking in this silly season so far. I mean,
uh,
you can hate us, you can adore us, but you can never ignore us. We are that club.
stop, stop threatening, man. You're threatening. Sports
I'm
jazz,
telling
everyone.
you,
Thank you so
bro.
much for tuning in. Sports Jazz, thank you so much for tuning in, Josh and Isaac. Of course, a lot is happening, Josh, in the transfer world. Man United is signing players so quick. I was with an Arsenal fan and he was asking me, how are you guys able to pull off such signings? Yet you don't even have Champions League. I was like, bro, it's Manchester United, the brand. Okay,
Yeah,
Arsenal.
you know what, you know what you do for him next time?
Uh,
You just give him the line, hate it or love it, underdogs and and hang on, sat.
you give him a bit of 50 in the game, yeah?
Yeah, you give him a bit of 50 on the game. Hate it or love it,
Anyway,
underdogs and
Sports Jazz, everyone, thank
with
you
the
so much
real
for
deal,
tuning in.
bro.
Josh and Isaac. And yeah, Josh, as I was saying, a lot is happening, and I'm happy it's happening. I like how we're responding to transfers. But before we go into that, Josh, actually, a lot is happening that even people are stepping back. You know, people. I don't know whether you know. Of course, you know him. Brailsford, who looks like he's going to remain just a director on board because he's been a sporting director for Ineos. So when Ineos took over, he came in as well just to help. But I think he did a poor job. From what I understand, from my view, he did a poor job. And Jason Wilcox has been promoted to the sporting director of the club. So that means Brailsford has to step back, focus on Ineos, focus on OGS Nice, and all other projects of Ineos, but not so much into Manchester United like it has always been. And of course, Jason Wilcox steps up. I don't know if he's the right man for the job, but he becomes officially our sporting director.
Yeah. Isaac, I mean, I don't think that Sir Dave Brailsford failed on his mission to do things at United because for me, I think that um, his role was never really defined for us to know what he was to
No,
do at Manchester United.
I
But
think it's
we
because of how we performed, Josh. That's why reshuffles
No,
everything
I
was.
don't think I do. I think the reshuffles were coming anyway because in the first place, Sir Dave Brailsford is the sporting director for Ineos
Yeah,
group of
correct.
Ineos Grenadiers, like the stable outfits of Ineos. He's the guy in charge. He's Ratcliffe's blue-eyed man. So I do think that when they did acquire shares into the club, always the sporting director of Ineos was charged with a mission to instill a winning ethos of Ineos into the new acquisition they had gotten because they were in charge of the football operations of the club. So I
Yeah.
do believe, without any insight on what his role was at the club, I do believe that he was charged with the responsibility to put the particular individuals in place in the right positions to make sure that the right people who can run the club in the right manner are the ones who are in those positions. Henceforth, we did have the Ashworths, the Jason Wilcox, the Omar Berada. All these people were recruited, but you can say that he oversaw the recruitment of all these people. His role, in my opinion, was to ensure that the right people come into the club in the right positions. And as soon as that structure is complete, he was always going to step back. So I think the reshuffle was imminent, regardless of how we would have performed, because I don't think that even if he does have a great understanding of sport in general, I think for managing and running of a football club, he needed to just get the best in class at Manchester United in a structure that is formidable to run the football club. And so far, he does feel that the structure is there. The structure that can run the football club in Jason Wilcox, who was taken over as the sporting director of the football club. We'd never had one since Dan Ashworth left. It's not that Wilcox is replacing Brailsford. And Christian Vivel, the head of recruitment. All these people have been Omar Berada, who is the CEO of the club. So the people have been brought in, and he feels that these people are now charged with the responsibility to carry the club forward. So it's not a demotion in any manner, shape, or form.
Well, to me, I thought it's a demotion because I mean, United performed so horrible, horrible season that we just ended. I don't even want to get into details because I want to move on. But just on the brighter side, let's go into the transfer news once again, guys. Please do subscribe, turn on the notifications. I
Yeah.
don't know whether I should pronounce the name in
Hey
Chinese.
one. I
Yeah,
hope I don't butcher the name. Hey one.
that's a
How
nice
are
name.
you both? Good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We good one. I hope I don't butcher your name though.
Yo, brother, man, thank you for checking in. Please do subscribe. Josh, yeah, of course, we all know we're going into the transfer news. We all know Matthias Cunha is already in the bag. 5-year deal, 3D payments, in the installments, separate installments, and but we're still struggling. Not only we're struggling, but it looks like United is still finding ways on how to get the Mbuemo deal done to Manchester United. Just I understand talks are progressing well. Both teams, I mean, agents are still making sure everything goes, you know, our way, and also the other side of Brentford. And maybe I also think because Thomas Frank is likely to leave, there is rumor that he might go manage Spurs after sacking Postecoglou. So I'm thinking maybe that also, having him leaving the club, maybe Mbeumo also decided to leave. But the most important thing is to note. The most important thing to note is United are progressing. Talks are ongoing. It might be not very fast, but they're at a pace that we want. We had a bid yesterday rejected, 45 million pounds plus 10 in ads on. That would make 50 million pounds total. And Brentford, I understand, want Man United to pay something close to what United paid for Matheus Cunha. Now, I don't know how that is going to go. I think they want 60 or 70. But I'm hoping, as things stand, I understand Mbuemo is pushing so hard to have the transfer get done, Josh. And I can't say I'm not really excited because I'm super buzzing. Super, super buzzing. I like how United is doing business way earlier, even before the preseason and everything has started, Josh.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Kedali, hi. Is the news is good today? Yeah, yeah, yeah. The news is good today. And to dovetail off what Isaac is saying, I mean, yes, Brandon Wemo, I do believe that he will eventually be a Manchester United player.
A
I
red
think,
devil.
yeah, I think Brentford is throwing a stone in the bush to see what comes out because Man United managed to sign Wolves Matthias Cunha for 62.5 million, and they see that Man United is ready and willing to pay the 50 million that was rumored in the first place. So why not try to seek the 60 million mark? Maybe we can ask for 70 and we get a 60. But United, you can see, as they have been clever in the window since last summer when Ineos took over. We've already tabled something, what you have said, 45 million plus 10 million in add-ons, which makes a complete 55. And for me, I don't have a problem with 10 million in add-ons because the add-ons are normally split between easy add-ons and hard add-ons. But whatever happens with the add-ons, it means the player has been productive for the club. So if you get to pay them, it means that the player has done certain things right at the club. So I don't really have a problem with the add-ons. But I think for about 50 million pounds cash plus 5 million add-ons, I think we shall be able to sign Mbeumo. Mbeumo looks like he will be a Manchester United player anytime soon.
Well, I hope he is. Sorry, I hope he. I mean, I hope he signs. It's going to be really nice. It's going to be a great feeling having both two EPL proven players like in Cunha and Mbuemo playing together. And Josh, that brings me to my next topic. Oh, by the way, Josh, I wanted to ask, still on Mbuemo, what did I want to ask? Oh my God, I think we shall come back to it. But Josh, the news of Victor Gyokeres as well won't go away. talks. It looks like he's still on because I've seen, was it Ben Jacobs via his ex handle? He was saying Gyokeres to Manchester United is still very much on. The player's been in touch and in contact with his former manager, that is Ruben Amorim. They are talking every day on a daily basis. And it looks like United first has to sell players. I mean, we have to sell first Garnacho because it's confirmed he's likely to leave. We have to sell the likes of Rashford, Sancho. I don't know what we are going to do because Chelsea is already out. But yeah, we need to first get sales on for money to come in. And when money come in, maybe that's when Gyokeres will also be ready to step in. But I mean, I'm rather to be signed than steps in. But I'm really excited because we all know teams like Newcastle. We've beaten teams like City. We've beaten teams like I won't say Liverpool because they're really doing great. They're killing it. Man City too, they're killing it. But I'm talking of players choosing us over teams like Newcastle, teams like Arsenal, our babies. So the fact that Cunha, if you remember, it was first rumored midway the season that Cunha was linked to joining. Um, Arsenal, but it turns out he chose Man United even after failing to qualify for the Champions League. Now we have Mbeumo. Mbeumo, he was offered. I don't remember. I don't know. I'm not sure of how much Newcastle had tabled for him, but they had even showed interest way earlier on. They want to add him, join Isak and look for goals because now they want to really contend. They're in Champions League, and guess what? Mbeumo still again chose Manchester United that finished 15th in the league or 16th, no Champions League, lost everything. We've been very terrible. In fact, it's like we're the clowns of that season, last season, one of the clowns. Mbeumo chooses us, he picks us over Arsenal and Newcastle. And now we have Victor Gyokeres, who is likely to leave Sporting Lisbon, that have already lifted the trophy the other side in Portugal. They've already qualified for Champions League, Josh. He could even have his salary increase. And it looks like he prefers to come join his former manager in a Manchester United or poor Man United that has performed poorly. What is it about Man United that people are coming? I mean, players are are choosing to join even after and everything that is happening at the club. Because, man, I'm really excited if everything goes well and we manage to sign these three players.
I told you, hated, adored, never ignored. Manchester United is the real
Adore.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the allure that United still has, I mean, is big time. I mean, it is believed that Victor Gyokeres and Ruben Amorim have always had contact um, ever since he left Sporting Lisbon, and he was bound to follow him to Manchester United, but he actually had a verbal agreement with Sporting Lisbon not to poach any of their players at the time, and it is a bit ironic that at the same time Victor Gyokeres had a clause in his contract that if he stayed that season, then he would be allowed to leave the club below the sell-on clause in his contract in the next summer, which is going to play out in favor of Manchester United, or the club that will be most likely to sign him. So I think that Victor Gyokeres is on the cards. He wants to play for Manchester United. He's willing to play for Manchester United, but like Kedali says, the transfer market is. He says, is the transfer market more long?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
because it's a bit
still
still long, and Victor Gyokeres will come to Manchester United before this window closes. I do believe that a deal will be struck, because you talked about Shaw, Sancho, Anthony, Rashford, and Onana to be out of the club at some point, so we can rack in some money. But it is good news that we've started to hear that there is a movement on that front, that Anthony is most likely to Bayern Leverkusen is most likely to be interested in Anthony, and they're willing to pay the 40 million euro asking price that United is offering. If those rumors are to go by, at least that will be 35 million in the bank. And yeah, we shall move on to other players. The players that are very difficult to let go is Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho at the moment, because they don't seem to have real suitors, and they don't seem to be willing to take pay cuts on their salaries, but I think the rest of the players we shall be able to let them go. On Brian Mbeumo choosing Manchester United, I'm telling you, if you're a footballer and Manchester United comes calling and Newcastle comes calling, I don't think you can be going to Newcastle because the things that happen when you're a Manchester United player are overwhelming. Even your own image rights. I mean, they just triple as soon as you join for Manchester United. As soon as there was interest, when Mbeumo when Mbeumo um, when Mbeumo announced that he had chosen, when David Olsen broke the news that Mbeumo had chosen Manchester United, immediately he had an increment under an hour of 4,000 followers on X.
Wow.
In less than an hour, 4,000 followers on X. So these things happen. I think they
That is
take
how huge Man United is.
exactly, and before you know it, on his Instagram and stuff like that, he just signs for United, and he's close to, I don't know, 500 followers. Yet when he had say 100K. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
these things are real, and uh, we still have we are a legacy club. We are a legacy club, and for me, I had already told Agent Dre that for a player like Brani Mbuemo, who comes from Africa, I mean, we grow up knowing that Manchester United is the real deal, and at 25 years old, he must have grown up. With Manchester United written all over his wall. I believe that he did have those wallpapers in his room growing up of Manchester United and the greats. So I mean, yeah, and the
See,
thing that is
by the
most beautiful, the thing that is most beautiful about it is these
yeah,
players want to play for Manchester United. For me, the
they do, and
moment
I'm not
Liam
afraid,
Delap was dilly-dallying that I have to go around and look at other clubs, I didn't want
bro,
him at United
bro,
because I
bro. Let's
want
not
players who
give
want to be at
him
the
time.
club.
Let's him not even. Let us not. Sorry, give him airtime, bro. We're talking now. Dilap, good luck at Chelsea. But yo, Josh, real quick, Victor Gyokeres, Josh. I mean, last season he had an outstanding season, Josh, both for Sporting and in Sweden, Josh, on the national team. Across various competitions because altogether, Josh, last season 57 games played, Josh, both club and country, okay, all competitions. And he managed to score 63 goals, Josh. Of those in La Liga Portugal, 39 goals in 33 matches. Do you know what that means?
I
39
know,
goals in 33 matches. Champions League, he scored 6 goals in 8 matches. And in other uh, competitions, the League Cup, the Super Cup, all that side, he's just incredible, Josh, incredible. And he had 17 assists, Josh, altogether.
bro.
Altogether. No, I don't mean in the league, but I'm saying altogether, everything.
Altogether, yeah, yeah. He's a beast. He's a beast. He's a real beast. He's a monster of a striker. And, he has so many good things about him. And it looks like he's in his prime. I mean, he's
Mm,
at the peak of his powers. I mean, a move to Manchester United a year before the World Cup would just make him, would make a lot good for Sweden. Because, I mean, if he's playing in the Premier League, before he goes to a World Cup and he's going to play with Isak, and he has been facing all these defenders around. I mean,
no,
Sweden is going to have a whole lot
no.
of a good World Cup.
Yeah, but I actually think he could have done better in the Champions League because to score 6 goals out of eight games, but maybe it's because of that injury he had that
And Ruben Amorim leaving mid-season.
maybe that too, but he had that nasty injury, or was it? Yeah, hamstring, if I'm not mistaken. He missed very, very important games in the Champions League that I think if he had not missed, Josh, he would have
Yeah.
scored goals. He would have banged even more goals. But going back to the league, scoring 39 goals in 33 games, I really think he's the man that Manchester United needs. Manchester United has to fight tooth and nail. They have to go out of their way. They have to step out of their pocket to make sure they sign Victor Gyokeres because with you having Victor Gyokeres leading your attack, you have Brian Mbuemo, you have Victor Gyokeres, Matthias Cunha, Josh. I think that's really great. And by the way, Mbuemo is very, very versatile. He can play on the right. He can play behind the 10. At one point, Thomas Frank played him as a right wing back, by the way, Josh. But I don't want
Yeah.
that at Man United. I really want him to concentrate. I want him being played in his favorite position. Let him play behind the striker from the right.
Exactly.
I think that would be really great. So I mean, we shall have saved or solved all our issues we've been crying about, mourning about. I'm talking about scoring and missing chances, wasting chances, and I mean, bye bye Rasmus Hoyland. That's all I can say. Because I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, 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 yeah.
I love the
Good
kid.
luck to Rasmus Hoyland.
Mm.
I think I saw a report about Rasmus Hoyland going to Inter Milan on loan.
On loan with an option to buy, but United are holding out because on a what? A permanent transfer. They don't want that
Yeah, we
option.
want a permanent transfer. We need some money. I mean, we just turned down a possible 100 million for Bruno Fernandes because we did expect that we can be getting some money from some of these players.
Sports Jazz, everyone, please do subscribe. Josh, we're going to have him back. I think he has a few issues, but he'll be back shortly. Once again, please do subscribe, turn on the notifications. Yes, we are still on Victor Gyokeres to Man United. Still in contact with Ruben Amorim as per Ben Jacobs. For those of you that follow him on X, he's a very, very credible journalist. I think we have Ben Jacobs. There's one that is called Petty Goal. Very, very credible. Of course, Fabrizio Romano, everyone knows him. David Ornstein, everyone knows him. There's another guy, I'm forgetting around two more guys. But yeah, when it comes to transfer news and everything, breaking news, things concerning transfers, those are the right channels, those are the right handles to follow, whether you're on Instagram, because they have all those they're on all those social media platforms. But Victor Gyokeres to Man United, guys, I don't know what you think about that, but I think it would be a boom having Gyokeres leading your line, and you have players that are already EPL proven in Mbuemo and Matthias Cunha behind him, and get that midfield. Get Actually, I would prefer to have Bruno Fernandes and Ederson. I would love to see that. I like Fernandes playing as a midfielder, box to box. Now that these guys are coming, I really don't want. I don't want him seeing the other. I don't want me seeing him the other side. Of course, he can play if one of them is injured or something, but I think he would do really great if he's played as a box to box. He's very good when it comes to tracking back. I think he would do well. But Gyökeres to Manchester United, yo, bro, that would be superb. But we have to sell players. That's the thing. We have to sell players. Um, uh, Kaderi says Ganacho is going to Italy. Yeah, yeah, that is true. Ganacho is going to Italy, but we don't know. We don't know when. They're being slow. We want to see that happen. We want to see that happening very, very fast. Uh, Let him go to Napoli, but I understand they're still short of money. I don't know what they're waiting for, but they should let him go to Italy, wherever he wants to go. Cause we need that money to help us with the PSR, the FFP, and everything, all that drama, because United haven't sold players in a while. Look at Anthony, he's the other side on loan. We thought we could get money in selling Jadon Sancho. He's a reject, prodigal son, came back. Chelsea preferred to pay a fine of 5M rather than 25, because Jadon Sancho apparently, not that they were even very much interested in him. They were not, but they wanted to take him. They agreed to compromise, pay the 25 million pounds to Man United for as long as for as long as Sancho reduces his wages. Sancho refuses. So that's why he's back. But I know he has no place at Man United. I don't see him playing again at Man United. I think he's been very disrespectful to the club. I keep saying this and I will never get tired of saying this. To have a player who decides to take off everything that connects him to a club. That dude went on all his social media accounts, took down every picture, everything that linked him to Man United. Very silly. I mean, you can't do that even if you don't like the club. That is very, very silly. I like Rashford. I think he's played it cool. Yes, he came out in that interview, said he's ready for a new challenge and everything, but he's kept his mouth shut. Okay, went to Aston Villa. I actually think he had a great time that side. And if it wasn't for the injury in those remaining a few other matches, I think Villa were going to cash in 40 million pounds. Okay, it's something more than 30 million pounds. But he also got injured, so it got a bit messed up. But either way, I still back to the transfer news. Gyökeres to Man United is still on. I mean, he's a player who comes with quality, very good finishing. He can score outside the box. He's good in the air. He's very good in the box, in the final third. He knows positioning when it comes to, a striker, because as a striker, you're supposed to know when to run and when not to run, when are you supposed to be there. Sometimes you're even supposed to anticipate, run before these guys so that the playmakers behind you can see you're making the move already and they can cross the ball to you for you to score goals. And that has not been the case with Rasmus Højlund. It's not. Unfortunately, it's not. I like the kid. I think that season, the one with Ten Hag, um, I don't know, was it blindfolding? But I thought he had done somehow better for him being in the first season. I think he scored 13 to 15 goals in all competitions. I'm not so sure. Uh, Other than that, I think this season he has been really poor, very, very, very poor, beyond poor. So let him go to Italy if he wants to go to Italy, and we will get the money. But Inter Milan just want a loan; they don't want to pay, and United are holding out for a permanent loan, of course, obligation to buy rather. So I mean, back to Gyokeres, you have that. You have Gyokeres, 26-year-old. You have Mbuemo. The fact that even signing Mbuemo and Matthias Cunha alone, that is huge, guys. I mean, both of them are better than what we have in terms of looking for goals, in terms of shaking or the net scoring goals. Both of them are better than Joshua Zirkzee, Rasmus Højlund, Garnacho, because those have been our leading players. Look at Chida Obi Martin in the preseason. Came on after Rasmus Højlund had fidgeted, fluffing chances, Boy came on, scored a brace or something. Positional awareness is right on spot. He knows when to run and when not to run. Rasmus Højlund is always either a few seconds earlier or a few seconds late. That's why he fails even to tap in or rather score easy tap ins. When it comes to one-on-ones, he's been poor. And speaking about one-on-ones, I think we also what Garnacho did. Look, I think Garnacho did. He scored a few. I think his goal involvements were around, not so sure, maybe 16. He did well, but I mean, the attitude, what he said right after the Europa, and we know, so his brother ranting and agent on social media. I think such things, it shows in discipline. And Amorim is not the kind of manager, who would tolerate people who act like that. That is disrespect. In other words, you're telling him you're bigger than the club, you're bigger than who he is, and he manages the squad. He picks you. Yes, okay, you came on for only 20 minutes, and yes, there was you kind of had an impact on that game, although we lost in the finals of the Europa. But again, you don't go around doing interviews saying silly things. So let Garnacho go. That is okay. Napoli should come very soon. I understand Atletico Madrid are also interested in him. They should also come very soon. I read somewhere that Chelsea could also be interested in signing him. That is very fine. I like that. I would love Chelsea. Anyone that gives us 50 to 60 million pounds for Garnacho, that is pure profit being an academy product. We welcome that very well. Why would we refuse? So, and of course, that will also help us with the signings of players like Victor Gyokeres, who's waiting for Man United to pull up. I mean, to pull up their socks, go in for the player. But that will all depend on Man United selling off some players, offloading some players. Well, the wage bill is a bit low. The wage bill is a bit down. I think that is really good. Because I say that because, Evans has already left. Ericsson has left. Lindelof has left. And who knows? We shall see Garnacho leaving very soon. We shall see Garnacho leaving very soon. Maybe the other issue that I want to talk about is the stalemate between the club and Kobbie Mainoo. Look, I don't know what's happening when it comes to Kobbie Mainoo, but from what I understand, things are not going so well. It's been over a year. These guys have been negotiating. He still has two years left on his contract. And to me, I think if he's not going to, if Kobbie Mainoo, because allegedly he wants to be earning 200,000, 180 to 200,000, from what I understand, and that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. Matthias Cunha himself is going to be earning around 185. Now, Kobbie Mainoo wants 200,000 per week. Look, I love Kobbie Mainoo, great academy boy. I still think he's a great talent that needs some more time. He can read the game at his best. He can dictate tempo in the midfield, but I see him struggling when it comes to the kind of system that Ruben Amorim plays, the 3-4-2-1, because Garnacho doesn't have the lungs. He doesn't have the legs. So unless he's going to improve and work on that, but I mean, you'd rather sell him than letting him work on a free transfer, because see where it's headed. We saw that with Trent Arnold. He left Liverpool. Why do you think Liverpool fans were very bitter? But well, they still managed to get 10 million euros, yeah, from Madrid because they wanted him to play in the FIFA World Cup. Sorry, FIFA. Is it I'm forgetting even the tournament. So yeah, he's going to be playing. And to have a player like Kobbie Mainoo work on a free transfer, yet he's been an academy product, or he's an academy product. Yet if you're to sell him, you get clean money, pure profit, just like uh, if you sell Rashford, who's also an academy product, if you sell Garnacho. Actually, if United were to sell those three players, I'm telling you, the transfer kit would be hefty. 100%. It would be hefty. But again, do I want Kobbie Mainoo to stay? I would love very much Kobbie Mainoo to stay if he's willing and he's ready to adjust, do more, because we didn't see much of him this season. He was out injured. He was out injured. He needs to work on his fitness. It's not good for a club like Man United. I mean, if you're in a club like top clubs, they don't have time to wait for you if you're getting injured every now and then, look at Gabriel Jesus. That's what happened. I mean, that's what happens if every time you get injured. Look at Luke Shaw. Good players, but because of their injury record. And by the way, I don't know who can save us from Luke Shaw. That is also going to be very hard because he's not playing. No one can buy a player who's not playing. Why? Because he's always in a sick bay. Toilet paper bonds. He's always in the sick bay. Even if you want him gone, he cannot go. He's on a very huge wage, by the way. Look, sure, he's one of the top earners. He's within 200 and 250,000. I'm not really so sure, but he's within that range. So if you have players like them, off your wage bill, incredible. That would be incredible. Because we're still, see, it's not so good when it comes to sales because we still have Anthony. Real Betis, the agent flew. I think it's representatives from Real Betis who are coming to England to talk with Anthony's agent because they want him back on loan with an option to buy. But I'm saying if they want him back on loan, then it has to be between 40 and 50 million pounds, and it has to be on a permanent, not option to buy. It has to be permanent, And if it's a fine like how Chelsea did, it has to be an obligation to buy like how Chelsea did. Let the fine be heavy, not just 5M, because Chelsea played us dirty. They really played us dirty. So yeah, Anthony, I don't see him leaving. I don't see him getting sold this season unless otherwise. There's rumors of Leverkusen's new manager and former manager to Anthony, both at Man United and Ajax. That is Erik ten Hag being interested in a Brazilian, to be particular, interested in signing Anthony. I don't know, maybe he could do well for him that side, but if I was Anthony, I would tell him, look, boss, I'm doing so well in Spain. Let me get my groove on with Real Betis. But yeah, so we're struggling to sell Anthony, Marcus Rashford, Tyrell Malacia. Some of you have even forgotten about him. Casemiro, I don't see anyone coming for him. But honestly, if anyone comes with 15 million pounds, sell Casemiro. How much did he come for? Around 69 or something. A lot. But if anyone comes with some money, sell him because his wage bill is really huge. His wage bill, 320K, 320,000 per week. That is crazy. So, yeah, we have those. Then Lindelof, we've already talked. They've already left Eriksen and Evans. By the understand, Eriksen might join Wrexham. I don't know. From what I understand, Wrexham, newly promoted Wrexham in the Championship. I've approached him, but I don't know anyway. Not my business anymore. But I love the player, and I respect him. He acted a profession. We have a bunch of players that, man, really worry me. I don't know what United is going to do. because we really need to improve. We need to do well. We need to qualify for the Champions League next season. I don't think that is going to be possible. But if you're telling me Man United is going to pull off the signings of Mbeumo, the signings of Victor Gyokeres, we already have Matthew Cunha, and we all know United have struggled. Yes, defensive wise, not so much. Midfield, not so much. But in the final third, the attack has been missing that flair, has been missing. We've been so poor in the attack. Chances being fluffed. So if United can get those three, guaranteed, I'm telling you, we are going to be shooting goals next season. Maybe the other player I would love to leave Man United would be a player like Victor Onana. There's news of Man United making contact with Aston Villa in regards to signing Emiliano Martinez. I hope it's true. I mean, he's a character that I really don't like. I didn't like him that time he tried to mock Ronaldo back then. And we all know he's a Messi guy. He's from Argentina, but if we can get Emi Martinez, I would 100% grace that. I would clap for that because Onana is so. He has been poor. He's been disastrous, the whole season. Again, one would argue that the defenders also in front of him, the wall in front of him, was really poor in the likes of Lindelof, the likes of Evans, and you had Emi Martinez out for a long time, but I understand he's back on the grass training. He's doing so well on recovery. You had an injury-prone De Ligt who's in and out, in and out. I mean, one would also argue maybe that also they didn't do the job so well, but no, 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 no. Onana has been very poor, beyond poor. Conceding very easy goals that can be saved. So, if we can get Emi Martinez, I think that is also fine. I like that. I would love that very, very much. And I don't know. Maybe we just have to wait and see. Let's wait and see if everything goes well. If we manage to sign uh, Emi Martinez, that's a good one. It's an upgrade on Onana, really. I mean, I'll take him because we brought in Onana, courtesy of Eric Ten Hag. He had that great performance in Inter Milan or at Inter Milan, but he has been shit, very, very poor. And I don't think we can keep him. I don't think he's the right man to be our number one goalkeeper. If we can get better players, or rather a better keeper, you change your striking force. Of course, you get CBs. We need CBs. We need a right wing back. I insist we need a right wing back. Um, and maybe someone, a right CB. Yeah, I think we also need a right CB. So we need two CBs uh, in a centre back. We have, by the way, also Harry Maguire. Yes, he's been brilliant this season, but maybe that's because currently United, the players we have to compete against Maguire, are also very poor. So that's why we see him as a player who's performing so well. Heck, that man at one time was about to be our striker. But yeah, if also suitors come for Maguire, I think I'll also let him go. Get new blood, new fresh angry players and both angry and hungry players that are going to fight for, that are going to fight for the badge, that are going to give their all to make sure they perform so well. I keep watching Evra. I don't know whether you guys watch those clips. And back then it was no games. Compared to what these guys are doing, he tells you it was no games. So let's wait and see how things turn out. But yes, I would very much love two new CBs, a right wing back. I would love two midfielders because Casemiro doesn't have the legs anymore. By the way, he doesn't. I don't know whether we will be able to sell him, but he doesn't have the legs anymore. I don't see him. He's already past his prime. I don't know who was it. Grams. He called him a steady Eddie, and everyone jumped. Came out just to attack him why he had called him that, saying man had won everything at Real Madrid. But yeah, that's true. I also don't think he's a steady Eddie, but I would so much love to sign a new striker. Love to sign two new tens. We already have one in Matthew Cunha. Two midfielders. I still think Ederson would make a great one, and The other one should also be a CDM, from what I say to me, because then you'd have three plus Ugarte. Casemiro comes in as surplus. That's if he doesn't leave in the summer transfer window. He comes in and surplus. Um, which other player would? Then the CBs and the right wing back. Then the keeper. If United can try and fidget and get those off, uh, I think it will be nice. It will be nice. But before all that, we need to first sell players. We need to generate money because of the PSR and FFP. We need to generate money. Add because we already have we had a $100 million kit. Get more money, sell players, and everything will be fine. Everything will be good. Then we will be able to even pull off those wild, crazy signings like Victor Gyokeres, because I'm telling you right now, he's the hottest thing, Victor Gyokeres. As Josh was saying, look at Osimhen, by the way. I think he's headed to Saudi because he loves money. He loves money. I understand he was asking for 300,000, minus bonuses coming this side. That's why teams like Arsenal bailed out. That's why teams like Chelsea bailed out. That's why teams like Man United also, I think, cooled the fire in interest in Victor Osimhen. But I mean, imagine Bruno turning down. Do you see Victor Osimhen turning down that amount of money that was being offered to Bruno Fernandes? How many players? Ivan Toney came out and said, "Look, yes, I read that, but because he's now with the England team, he was called by a new manager of England, the Three Lions, that is former Chelsea and Borussia Dortmund manager Thomas Tuchel, called Ivan Toney after a long while because we all know they were not in good terms with Southgate. Um, so he was being interviewed, asked what does he think because he plays in the Saudi Pro League. Asked what do you think about Bruno Fernandes turning down that offer? The money, 770 is it thousand per week allegedly, and he said, look, until you're there, you don't know how serious it is. The other side in Saudi, the intensity. But look, I don't think, because even right now, I think the MLS is way bigger than the Saudi Pro League now. But yes, they're doing so well in Saudi. They're taking players, and those players are doing so well. I think the signing of Cristiano Ronaldo opened doors for almost all the players: the N'Golo Kante, the Benzema, the Neymars, Savic, Ivan Toney that we're talking about, John Duran. Very many players on that side. So, I mean, let's wait and see. Anyway, let's wait and see. But United just has to make sure that they find means on how to generate money, and that is sales, players, and who knows, maybe we are going to even get all these guys that are on our radar, that have been on United's radar for all this while. And if we manage to close that, if we manage to bring all those players at Old Trafford, my God, they are in for all teams. I'm telling you, United is finishing in the Champions League spot if we sign Cunha. Okay, we've already signed him, but Mbuemo comes through. Victor Gyokeres also stamps in. United is beating everyone next season. United is beating everyone, but still they need a new keeper, a midfielder, two midfielders actually. Casemiro doesn't have the legs. Two CBs and a right wing back. And I think those are the most important areas they have to improve. Because look at Liverpool, by the way. Liverpool is doing very good business. They are hoping to sign Milos Kerekes very soon, Florian Wirtz, then Frimpong, very good by the replacement for Trent Arnold. He's in. There's another player that is rumored, also very good to Liverpool. I thought Ryan Cherki was going to Liverpool, by the way, but Man City, also, by the way, another team. They've spent a lot of money. I saw someone saying they've spent over how much the last 6 months, but Man City sells players. They make, they sell, unlike Man United, but they've made good money. That's why you see Arsenal also, they sell. They sold Nketiah for how much? Huge. I was even surprised. So, yes, yes. I think if United try to get in some sales and have people also go off their huge wage bill, I think it will be great. It will be really nice, especially if they get the players that they want to get. I mean, if you get a player that you want to get, like Matthias Cunha, you get Mbuemo, you get Ederson, you get, uh, unfortunately, Johan Garcia looks like has joined Barcelona. He has to go toe to toe with Tasten. Some people are not happy, Barcelona fans, and I've been seeing the hashtag of him leaving as a number one keeper for Barcelona, or him being dropped. So yes, we missed out on Juan Garcia. But Emi Martinez, I'm okay with Emi Martinez coming to Man United. Anyone to unseat Onana, anyone to make him sweat, anyone to give him a run for his money because he's too comfortable. Aita Bainda, no, he cannot. He cannot. He can't unseat him. He can't. But if Martinez comes through, I'm telling you, he's being the number one keeper, like it or not. So yes, United, it's a squad overhaul, and also they have to get players that are comfortable or with the kind of system that Amorim wants, to play. They have to get in players that Amorim feels this player can do well for me. Mbuemo has the energy, he has the gas, he can run, he can sprint, he has the pace, he has the skills to run back, track, and come back, defending, or maybe come back, help the defender, then go back in the attack. The same goes for Matheus Cunha, very good in the air, and Brazilian. He can score goals outside and inside the box. Victor Gyokeres, 39 goals in 33 games in a season in their league, La Liga in Portugal, bro. That guy is a goal scoring machine. So get those three players, get Ederson in the midfield, get another player in the midfield as well, get a right wing back, get two CBs, and I think we're good to go. I don't think we have. I think on the left side we have options. We have Lisandro Martinez, who's about to be back. We have Luke Shaw. Not that I'm really counting on him because he might get injured while he's wearing his boots to go to training. Then you have Aiden Heaven. What a revelation! Good player. Good player. Um, you have Patrick Dogu the other side. You have Lenny Yoro, who can play as a CB, by the way, also on the left and right. And we're good to go. We are good to go. We are good to go. Yes, there's also Ahmad Diallo who can play as a right wing back, and also behind a 10. But I still think we need a right wing back. And speaking about, by the way, kids, Chido Obi Martin, brilliant. And if you get, that's why I was really happy when we didn't sign Liam Delap. Bro, we don't need a player that is going to take 2-3 seasons, to hit the ground running. We want players who are right away hitting the ground running. So if we get, I know Victor Gyokeres can do that. Now, if you have Victor Gyokeres and you have a kid like Chido Obi Martin growing under his wings, I think he's a perfect player to give Chido Obi Martin advice about scoring goals. I would love that very much, big time. So maybe the other player would be, I'm looking at the kids, Sekou Kone in the midfield. Played so well. He had 15 games, but destroyed everyone. He made the news. From what I understand, United want to send him out on loan so that he gains more experience, and which is good for him, because the Premier League is not, it would be too much of risking him, just like what they did with Amad Diallo. Just like what you can see how Anthony is performing scored 9 goals only the second half of the season, joining on loan from Man United. So I think that also will be very good for Sekou Kone. Let him go, get the stamina. I'm not saying that he doesn't have, but I mean, the Premier League is really too hard. It does not play, man. So, and it will be too much of risking him. You have to protect those players. You have to protect those kids. So let him go out on loan, sign the players in, and let's see. And United will be winning. Once again, guys, please do subscribe, turn on the notifications. I am signing out. Yours truly, Isaac. Please do subscribe, like, and share the videos. Glory, Man United, and we are out. Peace.